hmm I've done some inner child work myself, and
Hmm.
it was huge for me. And it's
Yeah.
interesting because I did the little Lisa, and then I
Hmm.
did the teenage Lisa. They were
Yeah. Oh,
very
very,
different, because their
very.
abuse was different,
Hmm.
and it was much
Hmm.
more intense for the
Yeah.
teenage
Hmm.
Lisa, of course,
Hmm.
much
Hmm.
much
Hmm.
more intense.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So for our listeners, for them to start going in,
Hmm.
and what is one tip you could give them today that they could maybe
Hmm.
sit down and do that could help them start this journey that's a
Hmm.
safe thing for them to do?
Yeah. I still start with, like I said, the elementary way would be like your emotions. Is there every day. Start with curiosity and being curious about trying to label what you feel. You don't even need to go into your body if that's difficult, because for a lot of trauma survivors, like, like sitting with it and staying in the body
Yeah,
is very, very difficult. So if that
without
activates like
support.
more anxiety and more fear, there's nothing wrong with you. It's normal. You're being
Yeah,
protected as you should be. But I would just start to sort of kind of like improve my vocabulary around emotions. I am feeling like, just like if you can download like, apps now like that help you label emotions, like mood apps, and just starting with that is like a
ooh,
very
that's a good one.
subtle way of connecting. Even if you can't say, I don't know, I feel mad today, like pick an emoticon. It's building that connection, it's starting to build that relationship. That would be one of those
Connecting.
elementary, yeah, connecting. Another way, another thing that is slightly elementary, can be very difficult depending on where you are, is one of the biggest thing that happen when we're traumatized is we have no capacity to self-soothe. We don't
Yes.
even know what that is. And you
Yeah.
know what? Our system is very um scared of soothing, right? I will start there too. I will start to notice, look, what makes me feel soothed. Being soothed isn't being happy. Well, soothing can be triggering for you. But I will start to be curious about that. We have like a part of us that like activates threat, that like, alerts us to danger. We have a
hmm
part of us that drives us to action, right? And those are the two heavy parts for most people with trauma or unacknowledged trauma. Is their threat system is really big, and the drive system is really massive, because it's the doing part of the brain, and then the part of the brain that is at alert, like hypervigilant and looking for danger, and those two work in tandem. And we try to problem solve our fears by trying to do things,
So true.
right,
Oh my
when
gosh.
really like our fears need to be soothed. Most of our
Yes.
fears don't need to be solved, it needs to be soothed. And so we don't have a soothing
Ah,
system. And if we have a soothing system, it's so, so tiny. And oftentimes is more focused on looking after other people. So there's no channel of it coming back to you. And
yeah.
so I would be curious about that. What's your soothing system like? This is an approach from compassion focused therapy for anyone that wants to look at it. And I have a YouTube channel that talks a little bit about this,
Yeah.
like the emotional regulation. What's
hmm
your soothing system? What helps you soothe? And like get into that mode of creativity of building a soothing kit. And it doesn't have to be massive. Again, don't go out spending money.
Yeah.
It could be something simple like collecting petals or pebbles or marbles, or it could be coloring. It could be, what soothes you doesn't have to be excessive. And it will take a while for you to find that. It could be music, like think about it in
hmm
terms of like your sensory channel, because that's the way in which we've evolved, like our sensory channels
hmm
helps us, that's how we take in the world, through our sensory channel. Something you can see that sort of kind of like really grounds you, something you can
hmm
feel that grounds you, whether it's a pet with, a cuddle with your pet, or something you can hear, could be music. Start digging into that and noticing how that feels like. What does this actually activate for you? And then connecting that with the emotions that show up. That start being curious. That starts the connection. That starts the narrative. Like that starts the relationship between
hmm
you and you.